160 years ago, our beloved Queen and our King set up the Queen's Hospital to take care of the needs of their people. And we're so fortunate because that hospital thrives today as the only level 1 trauma center in the entire Pacific region. The only one. And it's because of the wisdom of our Ali. And you know, our queen, was really loved by her people. I'll tell you something. When her husband died, Kamehameha V, his brother, became king. Sadly, he died on his birthday, and he didn't name an heir to the throne. So they gathered all the high chiefs of the land, and they had an election among them, and they actually elected one of his cousins, King William Charles Lunalilo. Sadly, he died 13 months later without naming an heir also. Brought the chiefs together. This time, our queen threw her name in the hat. And she felt, I need to serve my people. And she had the royal lineage to do so. So part of this meant campaigning. And our beloved queen, she went island to island. And there's stories that tell that when she comes into Kahului Harbor in Maui, that the Hawaiian phrase was, "Wanua ka lehua au'i ke kai," that the multitudes of lehua blossoms floated in the ocean. But actually, the Hawaiians were speaking in a kauna, or underlying meaning, that said thousands of Hawaiian people came out to swim to her ship and greet her. And you know, she had a lot. She was a very forward-thinking queen. In fact, she and her husband brought the Anglican or Episcopal Church to Hawaii. They established it here. They also established a beautiful school called St. Andrew's Priory today. And then our queen her son was actually the godson of Queen Victoria in England. So they established a very tight relationship. Another good story about our queen. Traveling to the island of Hawaii, where there are the volcanoes, she went to an area called Puna. And down in Kalapana, which is in the south place, much of it is gone now because of lava, the people had a tradition of pulling down coconut trees, just like this one. When they heard a high chief was coming into the town, they'd lasso the tree and pull it down to bow down to that monarch or that Ali, that royal one. So the queen is coming in on carriage, is the story. As the queen gets near, the people are still pulling her tree down. The queen, not knowing that the tree is coming down for her, saw her people and felt, they need my help. She jumped out of the carriage, she grabbed the rope among her people. See, it was never beneath her to help her people. And she began pulling the tree, and later on found out that they were actually pulling it down in honor of her. Our beloved queen was so special, and she remained the Dowager Queen. So I told you about that election that she ran. Sadly, for her sake, she did not win at that election. King David Kalakaua won. She actually won the popular vote, and the king won we didn't have an electoral college, but the noble vote. So, see, that happened here too. But you know, our queen has done so much for our people that the legacy of the queen still is alive today. Like I said, St. Andrew's Priory, and also Iolani School, that people like even Sun Yat-sen came to attend school there. Let's see, our beloved queen. There's so many songs, and they compared her to a feather lei. And you know, I don't know if you know, in our tradition, lei made of feathers are very special, especially because some of the traditional leis were made of feathers from birds that now are extinct and very endangered. Some of the lei that were formed for the beloved queen were actually lei of songs. So they weren't actual lei that we wear, but they were lei of poetry. We're going to share with you right now a song that was written for our queen. It's called Kaulana no o Emma Lani. Famous indeed is Royal Emma. In the name of the great king of Hawaii, Kamoha'i, an ancestor of our beloved queen, who is also referenced to as Kamoha'i. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us this evening. We've come to the end of our show, and we just want to send our aloha with you, to you, by means of a story about our king's grandfather. His grandfather was King Kamehameha the Great, and he was the founder of the kingdom of Hawaii. Now, the king passed away on May 8th, 1819, 200 years ago this year. On his deathbed, he was approached by High Chief Kaikio Eva to leave some final words. After much hesitation, the king said these words, "E oni vale no o koiku pono a holi pau." Go forward and take upon yourself this legacy of pono, or balance, righteousness, for it is not complete. Here's a story called Kanaiaupuni through song, and it honors the great founder of the kingdom of Hawaii, King Kamehameha I. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing us to share with you the legacy of our beloved Queen and her husband, King Kamehameha IV, and of course his son, High Chief and Prince Albert Kawikiaoli. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please, we invite you to come back. We're here every evening at 7 p.m. Maybe a different MC, maybe different dancers, but sharing the same story of the legacy of our beloved Queen and our Ali. Mahalo to you all. Great king on his deathbed said, go forward and conquer. Take upon yourself this right of balance and righteousness, for it is not complete. And there in this foundation of righteousness, it is for all of Hawaii. So long live the sovereignty of a nation preserved in righteousness. Ladies and gentlemen, for the few of you who are here, if you would like to, we'll spend a few moments with our dancers. You can come up and take some quick photos. And we're going to ask you a favor, and the favor is that you only pick one line. Because we have so many of you here, we want to make sure everybody has a chance. So don't jump this line, then go to that line. No, stay one line. And then have your cameras ready, because it helps speed up the pictures. So ladies and gentlemen, please form two lines if you'd like to take photos. If not, have a wonderful evening. Wow.